Hi, my name is Elisa Matheson. I am founder and executive director of Power of Story. And I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about some questions that I get about what is a life book. So a life book is one service that we offer here at Power of Story because it helps explain directly to kids what their story is thus far. So for kids in adoption and foster care, a lot of times their story is complex and there's a lot of players and there's a lot of pieces involved. And the earlier and the more clearly we can help kids understand their story, the more they're going to be able to incorporate it into their whole identity moving forward. And that's what we all want. So what are some other benefits to completing a life book? So one of the greatest things about a life book is that it's focused toward the kid themselves. So a life book can be written for a 3-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 10 or 12 or even a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. We all need to understand our story. We all need to understand where we came from and where we're going. It's available to the kids at the time that it's done. So it is a powerful tool that is available to them and updated as they grow. It helps kids understand the family that they came from and the family that they're in currently, whether that's an adoptive home, foster home, or back reunited with their birth family. It helps them understand that journey and helps provide context for their life, both where they've been and where they're going. And it helps kids understand and helps parents talk to their kids in a way that they can understand in an easier format than sitting down over your after school snack, going over court documents or looking at medical records. You can look at a book where the child is the hero or the heroine in their own story. It has nuance, it has the great parts about their life, and it has some of the hard parts about their life, provides grounding for kids in a very child appropriate way. And kids have told us that they really appreciate lots and lots of photos. So we're always sure to include as many photos as we can of their birth family, of the places that they like to play, the parks that they like to go to, the schools that they have attended, bringing it the ideas into a way that kids can touch and interact with is so important. It also enables the keepers of that information to share what they know. So past foster parents, their birth family are able to share photos, are able to share stories, are able to share their memories of their child or a child that they care about. And we are able to give that back to their child to be able to use as a tool to understand their life moving forward. And we have done the research. You can look on our website. We have done the research over the importance of kids knowing their history, of knowing their stories as they grow. So it is not ideal for someone to get access to their information only when they're old enough to ask, or only when they're old enough to request their file from the state or from the placing agency. It's best if they can do that with their parents as they grow, one piece at a time. There's never anything hidden or secret. It is all revealed over time as the young person grows into adulthood. And then who gets a copy of this life book? So first and foremost, the young people get a copy of their book, whether they're in foster care or whether they have been adopted already. It's their story. They get a copy of their life book. If they're young, of course, they have parents attached to them, whether that's foster parents or their birth parents in reunification or adoptive parents. We want to make sure their parents know about their book and know how to put it into practice, know how to talk about their story. And then also best practice is that a copy would be placed in their file at the county or at the adoption agency, because we know that things get lost, things get destroyed or broken, and we really want this story to always be available to the young person as they grow. So this really important thing, right? What are the laws in Minnesota that require this to be done? And currently there aren't any. in Minnesota. There's no laws, no rules, no regulations. However, most people involved in the child welfare system would tell you that this is best practice, that people should know their story, but currently there's no legislation around it. However, in the United Kingdom and in Ohio, all kids who are moving towards adoption are required to have a life book, or as they call them in the UK, a life story book. However, even in those places where it is currently required, there is nothing required for youth who remain in foster care or who are reunited with their parents. And I believe that no matter what your end destination is, you deserve your story, your whole story. And so I'm a big advocate for everyone who's spent time in foster care, who has been adopted, having a life book, because it helps kids. It helps kids understand their story, and it helps us as adults who care about them communicate that story accurately to them on a repeated basis so that they can integrate it into their life. If you want to learn more, check out our website at powerofstory.us. And there is all the research on why we think this is important and a little bit more of our model on how we do this. We would love to chat with you. If you are an adoptive parent or a foster parent, we have workshops available to you to help you put together life books for the young people that you care about. And if you're a worker, we have workshops for you as well to say, how do you fit this into your day? How do you prioritize this important but not required work into your day in and day out in your work with kids? Thanks much for taking your time to learn more about life books and life books in Minnesota. Join the conversation, reach out, shoot me an email. I would love to talk to you anytime. Thanks. Have a great day.